tubers and tubettes. My name is David, and I live in Northern California, and I love California. Today what I'm going to talk about is what I was doing almost all day yesterday, and that was to hang pictures. So in building the Batmobiles, the replica Batmobiles, I had started putting posters together, and the posters kind of show the Batmobiles in different angles, and it took me a little bit of creative time to put those together, so I am pretty proud of them. We used to give the posters away whenever we would go to an event, and I still have a ton of posters to get rid of. I also have a ton of pictures that are just on the floor, but I mean, they've got to weigh 300 pounds, a stack of poster-sized pictures. And I would use those for trying to uh, look at different parts of, like, the Batmobiles, components and stuff like that. So for me, it was easier just to make a colored poster of it, and then I would be able, of the real Batmobiles, like the Tumbler, for instance, and then I would have these posters to use as a reference. And I did use it quite a bit. But now it's come to the point where I don't really need these anymore. So my first thought was just to, throw them away. But then I thought, well, maybe I could sell them. Maybe I could sell them on eBay. I don't know if I could or not. But my thought is maybe to have, a couple of pictures so that I could at least get $5, for a couple of pictures. And then I would just send them like 5 pictures. So I'd send them an extra one. I'm not even sure how much it costs to send them. But I have two of my buddies that I offered to give them some posters. And I'm trying to give them posters of what I have. So I want to be able to put them in a tube, if that's what I need to do, and then send it to them so that they would have these posters that of, how I built these Batmobiles and what I used to give away. They'd have a whole set of them each. So I'm trying to do that. But I've got also posters in the garage, so that there's just a lot of posters. So that's what I'm trying to do. So in hanging the pictures, I've been there in my house for about 20 years, and this loft has never been finished. I mean, I never hung pictures. I have a great family picture, a really, really nice one that I used to love downstairs, but for some reason it kind of fell out of favor. My wife's not really into it. The kids were very young at the time, so I hung it in my loft, in my YouTube studio loft, and so I have it hanging in there. It just gives me comfort, to look at it. Another thing I have a lot of is hats. So a lot of them are my military hats. I got some sports hats, and I've got a couple of wide brim hats that I've taken on vacation and stuff. Just never had a place to put them. They're all over the floor and everything. So I hung them over the entryway as you come in there. And it's nice. It's nice to have them hung up now, and I can actually see them, whatever they have on the front of them. And then I can see that I don't need to have any more hats. I have plenty of hats. I can just never find them when I need them. The last thing I have is a lot of Batmobile components. One of them I have that's really nice is a side mechanic. And the side mechanic is a little, they call it side mechanics to go on the side of the '89 Batmobile. A buddy of mine made them for me, and then mounted them onto this board. And so I wanted to mount them on the wall. Now at some point I would like to make a mold of them, and then I would like to make the components out of a polyester resin. So that's something I've always wanted to do. I haven't done it yet, but just having them there makes it nice. And then I even went down and got a trophy place. This really nice lady, Nikki, she engraved some trophy plaques for me so that I could stick it onto my side mechanics, the left and the right. So I'll always have those, I think, as just something visual to look at. But I mean, if later down the road, my kids or my wife wants to sell it, they would have the ability to do it. For me personally, though, I would like to convert them all into silicone molds and then make them into polyester resin molds, and that way they'd be a lot more be harder to damage them. So that would be the advantage to doing that. So um, I have another box. It's full of the same kind of components, but these are even bigger. They're actually made for my big '89 Batmobile. And so those, I would like to make molds of them and then also be able to make each one of those components and then probably epoxy them together so that they would just be a lot stronger and look more accurate than the fiberglass ones I have. They don't look very real. So that's what I've been spending my last 2 days doing, and I'm going to be doing some editing, I hope, later today and maybe tomorrow. It's just really weird, haven't had a lot of leads, so I'm going to call in and just make sure that my email is working. But it's really weird because yesterday was like 85 degrees and not a lot of leads. So I've sold 2 for the month, so I feel fine, with that. But you got to have the leads to be able to sell more. So I'm going to call and find out what the heck was going on with that. So thanks for finding me, and I appreciate you guys. Subscribe if you can, and then I'll look forward to talking to you in future videos. Thank you much, and have a great day.